G'day folks, how you going? Cleggy here for tonight's possibly controversial video. I'll try and look at the camera because it's not the screen. The camera and the screen are two different things, so I'll try and look at the camera. This is going to be a little bit of fun. It could go either way, if I'm honest with you. So I'll just check in and see if we're actually live. Take a sip of the cup of tea. And if you can see stuff coming up here, that's the steam off my cup of tea. That's a seriously hot cup of tea. And I think if you're going to have a cup of tea, it should be very, very hot. So g'day to everyone. How are you? And, oh look, I've got subtitles. So, I don't know. Why have we got subtitles? Oh, alright, let's run with subtitles. I don't know what's going on there. So, has everyone else got subtitles? Or is that just me? Oh look, I've got subtitles. Oh no, the subtitles are gone. That's probably a good thing. That was quick, guys. But you're all sitting there waiting. AGP, Aussie Gold Prospector, Paul Stops in the house first. Alright, let's run with subtitles. My man. Good on you, bro. G'day, Nicky, Guy, so, Kev. Has everyone else got subtitles? Kev and Nev. That just me? That was a good coincidence. Oh, look. G'day, Meso. I've got subtitles. Brett, oh no. Vernon, the subtitles are gone. Trina, that's probably a good thing. David, Jason, that was quick, guys. You're all sitting there waiting. I've got to pause this because I can hear two voices and it's weirding me out. So, g'day Craig, g'day from South Aussie. Thanks for coming all the way over to Newcastle for the evening. Are the subtitles still there? I don't know. I could see them when it was small, but I can't see it now. Meso, nothing but high tech here, my man. Good, no one else has subtitles. I'm pretty happy with that. Because that could get a bit weird. So, no, just me. All right, thanks, guys. Oh, no, someone else. Anyway, I'm getting yeses and nos. As usual, conflicting information. Now I'm just confused. So, no, the double voices are gone. I didn't have the feed paused. So I could see all your wonderful comments. G'day, Adrian. The double voice is gone. They should be gone by now. So the echo's terrible because I'm in the old shed. Because in the old shed, I've got this thing called electricity. It's a new thing. It's only just come out and I'm on that electricity bandwagon. So, you know, I think we should all stay with the modern times. And look, I'm super privileged because Deb K's just come into the house, and I mean, Deb K's presence always makes everyone's life better. I haven't had a bad time hanging out with Deb K. She's a champion. So, you know, with all this newfangled electricity, I'm pretty happy with that. So, again, I've got subtitles. It's completely weeding me out, but we will power on. So let's see how we go. All right, guys, the double voices are gone. Cheers, Meso, that's awesome. G'day, Ray. G'day, Rod, how are you, buddy? G'day, Rods. Rod Roach and Rod Mannix, both in the house. Dustin McMurray, like this is a celebrity central this evening. Far out. And guys, your checks are in the mail for those celebrities that I agreed to pay. Now I've got my serious hat on tonight. This is what I call my flush hat. And I only wear this when I'm being completely 100% serious. So, does that, I just saw the word dead cat come up on the subtitles, so obviously they're not going so well. Alright guys, here's how tonight's going to work. I'm going to ask you to make no comments in a minute because I won't be able to see them. Because the plan is I'll be standing over there a little ways and we're going to do, I've got some detectors there. You can probably see a few of them here. And we're going to talk, we're going to do a little thing. This is the advice that if you were to ring me up at any stage in my shop and ask me the questions, this is the advice I will give you. All right? Because the first thing I do when we talk about detecting is I ask you a fair few questions. And I need to know what you want to find, your style of hunting, where you want to hunt, a few other bits and pieces, so I can recommend the correct machine to you. So a lot of this is based on my opinion. You may agree with it, you may not. G'day, Ange. You know, but if you don't, let's just see how it goes. Is it still freezing up? It'll come good. Don't panic. Don't panic. G'day, Daryl. All right, Jacob's in the house. That's awesome. So, all right, guys, I'm going to move the camera over a little ways. I'm just going to have to click off the feed so I can see where I'm pointing it. And I'm going to move over to this detecting bench. Well, it's not a detecting bench, it's just an ordinary bench. And we're going to get some detectors out and I'll give you the advice. So what I'd ask you to do from now is not ask any questions just yet. And the reason is I won't be able to see them. I'll be over there. And I just can't see that well. So let's face it, he's going blind. I've just enjoyed a really nice roast chicken dinner. I'm just going to suck on this cup of tea and probably do a bit of slurping. And I've got a backup can of ginger beer right here. All right, keep the tonsils lubed. So guys, don't ask any questions right now. If you want to make comments and that, talk amongst yourselves, that's great. No problems at all. But when I get over there, I'll just ask you to not answer any questions. I'll do me spiel, then we'll come back and I'll nail any questions in the head that we've got, you know, that you guys might have. All right. So without any further ado, let's get over to the table. Put the Bobby Pin is into me again. There you go, flower glasses are on, but I'm not going to need it because I'm not reading any comments from here on in. All right, so got the camera positioned. I'm going to now turn off the comment feed. You guys can still see the comments, but I won't be able to see them for a few minutes. And I'll go over there. I'll do me waffle on and then I'll come back and I'll nail any questions that you might have and we'll see how we go. Alright, so this video will go for as long as you keep asking sensible questions. That's a big ask. You guys crack me up. So I do apologise for the echo. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. I tried to fix it, but bar filling the shop, this old shop up again with stuff. You know, that's the way it is. That sign there is there because I had nowhere else to put it. All right, so heading over to the table. Bring me cuppa. Check the camera angle. Is that good? Again, I can't see the comments, so I don't know if it is. I know I'm off camera. So here we go. What we're going to do tonight is talk about some specific models of detector and why this is the range of detectors that I get asked about the most in the shop. All right, there are detectors that are, we're talking about a price range here because let's face it, detectors and on the prices that they're made and all the rest of it are all pretty, let's say, equal in price. All right. And a lot of them are equal in performance and that sort of thing, providing you choose the right one. And that's the priority when people come into Aussie Detectprist, is to help you choose the correct detector to suit your particular metal detecting style. Alright, so the detectors I've got here tonight are XP Days. Alright, this is on the higher end of this price range. So this is, you're looking at about an $1,899 machine at retail price. So that's at the higher end. All right, we won't talk about that a ton, but I thought it was important to have it in the mix. This one here, the Gold Monster 1000. All right, that's right in the mix. It's right in the price range, the target price range. of sort of around that sort of $1,200, $1,100, $1,200 mark. XPORX, again, right on the money as far as the price range that we're talking about tonight. Last but not least, I've got here the Equinox 800, all right, and the Equinox 600. I'll use the 800 so we're not demoing two machines, because let's face it, when you look at them from a distance, you can't tell an 800 from a 600. All right, you don't know until you turn it on and you got the menus, the different menus. So for those that don't know, the 600 versus the Equinox 800, you pick up the gold program #1, and you can also access the high frequency of 40 kilohertz by itself. You can also access the low frequency of 5 kilohertz by itself. Now, do not pay me out about cable management, because these detectors aren't set up as hunting detectors. These ones go on the shelf at the shop. They move around a lot, they get extended and shortened a lot. So the cable management is poor, all right? So, you know, we all know that you need to have your cables securely fastened, because when they do this, it's no fun for anyone. All right, so here we go. This is just, I haven't scripted this. The reason I'm doing it live is I don't want people to think, see, you made a mistake already, but this has been edited together to suit a message, because it hasn't. This is my honest advice. Like I said, I give this advice to people every single day, whether it's on the phone or on the email or in some cases in the shop, but not that often in the current situation. Just kick that box out of the way. So I get a lot of questions talking to me about what's the best detector to buy in that sort of $1,500 odd range. All right. Now we all know that the XP Deus doesn't fit into that category as far as price goes, but it's there for a little reason, and I'll get to that in a minute. So let's talk about your hunting style #1, because that plays the biggest part in what detector you're going to choose. What you need to think about is where you're going to spend the majority of your time metal detecting. Now, for some people, the majority of the time is spent in the goldfields. For some people, the majority of time is spent on coin and relic, so in parks, in dry beaches, on World War II sites, in old camps, ghost towns, all that sort of thing, looking for coins and relics, all right? The third type of person I get is someone that really, really likes the beach, the water, and when I say water, what I'm talking about is a saltwater environment, because that is a severely harsh environment to detect in, and a lot of machines do it tough. Now, just a reminder, I cannot see your comments at the moment. So let me finish this little spiel, and then I'll go back over to the computer there. I might spin it around a bit so we're not looking at roller doors and all that sort of thing, and we'll go from there. So let's get on with it. All right, a lot of people ring up, as I said, and say to me, Cleggy, I want a detector that's going to work everywhere and work extremely well everywhere. I have trouble recommending a model to that type of person, because there really isn't one single detector that will nail every single type of condition. And what I mean there is, again, is wet salt, park and beach, goldfield. They're the three types of places that we come. So what we do is we have a conversation about where you're going to spend the majority of your hunting time. And when you start to break it down and talk to people, what you find is that people tend to spend about 75% of their time in one of those three areas. So what we then do is work out where that area is, recommend the right detector. So that's what's going to happen tonight. So, scenario #1. You like to do a fair bit on the beach, but you don't mind getting up into the land as well and doing the coin and relic, but the majority of your time is spent on the wet sand in those sort of environments, hunting beaches and that sort of thing. In that particular case, we always go I nearly always recommend this machine here, the Equinox. All right. Now, if you're doing absolutely zero gold, the Equinox 600 will get you out of trouble. Now, the Equinox 600, we all know that the Equinoxes work very, very well in the wet sand environment, which is not a lot of machines can say that they work well down there. All right. So I always recommend, if it turns out that the wet sand environment is your main hunting place, all right, and you're on this budget, remember, because there are specialty machines like the Excalibur 2 and things like that, where that's, you know, if you're 100% beach, we're going to start talking about Excals and stuff like that. But what we're doing here today is talking about the majority of your hunting, because there's no one I know that does 100% of their detecting on the wet beach. But there's a fair few people that do about 60, 70, 75%. All right, now the reason I recommend the Equinox 800 in that particular situation is it's extremely handy on the beach. Really handy on the beach, all right? It's waterproof to 3 meters, so you can get up to your neck, you can get underwater, you can get wet at the beach with one of these and stay safe, all right? The beach programs on it are really, really good. The ground filtering for wet salt sand is very, very good, so you'll get very little back noise, very little back chatter, and targets will stand out very well. With the 11-inch coil on it, it has very good depth. You can increase your coil size and go to the big fella, all right? You also can shrink it, but on a wet beach environment, I wouldn't use anything smaller than the 11-inch, all right, because you don't need to. You're chasing a bit of depth in the wet sand. So the Equinox 800, the 600, if you're doing zero gold, is the way to go. If you like to get out on the gold fields in amongst your beach detecting, occasional coin and relic, occasional gold, I would definitely look at upgrading to the 800. The 800 comes with the gold program, which is reasonably handy. Someone's giving me a call. I'm going to turn that off. I don't know who'd be ringing me at this time of night. If you're going to go do that fair bit of wet beach, but you want to get a little lick at the gold, definitely take a look at the Equinox 800. When you're out in the gold fields, that's when we look at shrinking this big bad boy down to the 6-inch coil. Now the reason we use a smaller coil in the gold fields is to cut down the surface area of the coil and give the detector a little bit more chance at finding the targets in that highly mineralised soil. The smaller your coil, the better off you're going to be when you're doing that out in the mineralised ground. All right, so lots and lots of wet beach, little bit of park, little bit of gold. Definitely have a look at the Equinox 800. Zero gold, 600 will do you every day. If you're zero wet beach, and you do about 75 or 80% of your time on coin and relic in World War II sites and that sort of thing, then generally I start to recommend this bad boy, the XP Deus. Now the reason I recommend the XP Deus is it's a 10-year-old machine. The latest software update's about 12 or 15 months old, and it's a weapon in that sort of environment. It's super quick, can cut through the trash. Someone really wants to talk to me. I'm going to take a live phone call. Let's see who it is. Cleggy speaking. Hi. Yeah, mate, you're live on the internet too, so don't swear. Oh, no one can hear me. Oh, well, that's no good. All right, I'll try and fix it. So we're having sound issues, I'm hearing. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Is that any better? So I have to be close up here, do I? How are we going? Usual professional outlook. This is nuts. So I don't know why people can't hear me. Just doing my head in. I'll move the camera a bit closer and we'll see if that works, because that's where the microphone is, inside the camera. Move the chair, realign. Go again. Is that any better? I can't see your comments, so I'm hoping it is. If you can't hear me, send me a text. Because I don't want to take another live phone call. So for people that go out, and this is when I'm hunting in the wet beach environment, this is what's hanging off my arm, an Equinox. Alright, this is my preferred machine. I am not hardcore enough to go to an XCal 2, so that's my wet beach machine. When I'm in the parks, doing World War II, coin and relic, I go for the XP Deus. Alright, the reason I go for the XP Deus is I've used it for a long time. I know this thing inside and out. I just got a message probably saying that people can't hear me again. I'm really sorry, but I've got to check it just to make sure. And got the go ahead that the sound is fine, so that's great. If you can't hear me, turn the volume on your computer up. So, if you're 100% land, coin and relic hunter and that sort of thing, we start talking about a machine like this, like I said to you before, the XP Deus. That's what this machine was designed to do. When you get it down into the wet sand, it can be a little bit hard work. You can run it like a gold machine, it does have a gold program. You can run it like a gold machine on the wet beach to quieten it down, but this machine and this machine are chalk and cheese in the wet sand environment. This is way, way better. Up in the park, I prefer this machine here. Alright, the Equinox is a pretty handy little park hunter. It's quite a little fast machine. It's got a good bit of depth on it. What I struggle to interpret with the Equinox, I sometimes don't know, well, let's face it, let's be honest here, because we're trying to be honest, and this will probably cost me a lot of money in the future. I struggle a little bit with the Equinox to know what I'm going to dig up. Now, I've put about 120 hours on the machine on land, and that's just my personal opinion. With this thing here, I'm good for about 6 out of 10 naming the targets. It has very, very good target ID system. It's quite spread out. 5-cent piece, 53. $2 coin, 86, 87. So it's very, very wide spread of TID numbers. And when you're digging a park and that sort of thing, you really want to be able to distinguish between pull tabs, 10-cent bits, aluminium cans, all that sort of stuff. You want to be able to dig the good stuff, leave the trash behind. Alright? So that's the XP Deus. Now these two machines here are probably the closest, the ORX and the GM1000. If you're pretty much, and what I mean here is if you're 100% gold hunter and you're looking at a VLF gold machine, GM1000 is not a bad machine. It's actually a very good machine. I haven't been able to say a lot of good things about this because in the past I haven't been able to sort of use it a lot, to be honest, and I've had a good go of these now. And what these machines give you is exactly what you need in the gold fields. And that's super duper accurate ferrous, non-ferrous ID. This machine is very, very good at telling you if you're on an iron target or you're on something that's not iron. Alright, beyond that, that's about it. Alright, but when you're in the gold fields, that's what you want. You want to know the difference between iron and what's not iron. And just as an example, I brought another machine in and I'm just going to bring it in really briefly just to drive that point home. Everyone knows what this is. It's a GPZ 7000. It is by far and away the best gold detector money can buy. It's not cheap. It's an unbelievably powerful machine. But when you're out in the gold fields, this thing can't tell the difference between a nail, a bullet, a piece of gold, anything like that. It tells you there's metal there, and it's unbelievably good at it. Alright, it finds tiny gold at good depth. Just as an example, a few weeks ago, 0.65 of a gram at over a foot. None of these machines here in front of us can make that claim. Alright, none of them. I don't care how good you are with a GM1000, a Deus, an Equinox, an ORX, you ain't finding 0.6 gram bits of gold at a foot. This thing here eats them up. Absolutely eats them up. So this is a high-end machine, but it can't do what the GM1000 can do. It can't tell you if you're on a likely iron target or a likely non-ferrous target. So I put the 7000 away because the 5000s and the 2300s and those three machines are the pinnacle of gold machines. If you're 100% serious about finding a lot of gold, you need one of those three machines. SDC 2300, GPX 5000, GPZ 7000. None of those machines are cheap, but for a reason. They're extremely powerful machines. But this little fella here at about $1,000, $1,100, can do things that those machines can't. They can tell nails from bullets, nails from gold, bits of tin from gold. What they can't tell you is what this machine can, and this is an ORX. What the ORX's strength is, that it can give you via a TID number, because the GM1000 doesn't have TIDs, the ORX using the TID number system can give you half an idea of what you're going to dig out of the ground. So both of these machines give you almost perfect ferrous, non-ferrous, and I don't like to say discrimination, but both of these machines are unbelievably good at telling you if you're going to dig iron or something that's not iron. And when you're in the gold fields, everything that's not obvious iron needs to be dug. It's that simple. If you want to find gold, don't second guess yourself. The machine's telling you it's a non-ferrous target. Dig a hole and find out with your eyes. Alright? The one little advantage that the ORX has on the GM1000, in short, is a TID number system. Now that TID number system gives you a vital piece of the puzzle when you're gold hunting. Alright, the beauty of the ORX is that it also has a couple of coin programs, hence why it's got TIDs even in gold mode. Alright, the beauty of having a TID number is you can assess the conductivity of the metal. And this machine will give you a great indication of what you might be going to dig in the gold fields. Alright, I would still be digging, and I do this myself, I dig every single target that is not obviously ferrous. So it's not an obvious iron target. This machine gives you just that tiny little bit more information as far as that TID number goes. Alright, so that's why I like the ORX. The ORX also transfers really nicely over to the coin and relic side of things. So, on to the next part of the equation. You spend 0 time at the beach, 0 time in the wet sand, but you like to do gold and you like to do a bit of coin and relic as well. I generally push people towards the ORX in that reason. It's got 2 coin programs, 2 gold programs. With the TID system, once you learn the TID numbers and the tones on the ORX, it's actually a very effective little coin shooter too. So it's a great little crossover machine. Alright, so if you're doing some gold and you're doing some coin and relic, I believe that the ORX is the way to go in this price bracket. Alright, because with your TID number system, what you're doing is assessing the conductivity of metal, and over time you'll be able to tell a pull tab from a 10-cent piece. You'll be able to tell a round pull tab from a 20-cent piece. You'll be able to tell a bottle cap from a $2 coin. And all those things are quite close together in their own little areas. Alright? But for the 100% gold people, I think it's really neck and neck between these two machines. Neck and neck. There is a little bit more information out there about the GM1000 if you're a gold hunter, and that can be an advantage. There are a lot of GM1000 users out there, and there are a lot of people having great success with the machine. I'm finding a lot of people that travel and they're in and out of the gold fields and they like to do the parks and that sort of thing, and then when they're in the gold fields go up there and feel like they're half a chance. That's your machine. Alright, single frequency, but it can be adjusted. Alright, That's another disadvantage to the Mine Lab, is that it has one frequency, and what it does it very well. But it's a specialist gold machine. Alright, it doesn't transfer over to the parks too well, because all it does is give you ferrous, non-ferrous. Alright, out in the gold fields on the small gold, it's a weapon, absolute weapon. And again, you put the little 5-inch coil on it to cut down the amount of soil the machine has to deal with. Absolutely does a fantastic job. But if you're in that area where you like to cross over, I'm really thinking that's the machine that I would recommend to you. Alright? Providing you're not doing a lot of work on the wet beach. Because as I said before, that's your machine when you do a lot of wet beach hunting. Alright? Now I know this is a one-sided conversation and I'm probably not making a lot of sense, but when I talk to people, obviously I'm getting feedback. I'm not getting that feedback at the moment because I can't see the comments. I'm going to be hundreds of comments behind. So hopefully you're storing those questions up for the end. So, just a really quick recap, then I'll jump back over to the screen and start answering questions. If your style of hunting is mostly wet beach with a bit of coin and relic in there, and maybe the occasional gold trip, I think you should be looking at the Equinox 800. If you don't do any gold, you just do mostly wet beach and a bit of coin and relic, the Equinox 600 will get you out of trouble. If your thing is doing 100% gold, then I would go for the GM 1000. It's a dedicated gold machine. It's extremely good at what it does. It's designed to suit conditions in Africa, which are just as harsh as Australia. We don't have the worst soil in the world. Africa broke off from Western Australia millions and millions and billions of years ago. The soil conditions where the gold is in Africa, very, very similar to what we've got in Australia. If you do gold and coin and relic, I'd go for the ORX. The Deus is really for when your detecting gets to a freaky level. And you can put the CTX 3030 in there. I think the Deus has a little bit of an advantage in the gold fields over the CTX. But the CTX 3030 at $2,400, $2,500 is a very, very expensive machine. The Deus at $1,899 is not the cheapest machine, but if you're an absolute coin and relic freak and you want to milk the ground time and time and time again, go the XP Deus. Coin and relic freaks, gold freaks, gold and coin freaks, ORX, wet beach and park freaks, Equinox. Depending on what you're telling me in the store is which one of those 4 detectors that I'll recommend directly to your face. Now over my time, I've sent a lot of people to Mine Lab dealers before I was involved with Mine Lab. And a big thanks to Mine Lab for having me on board. It was a big ask, let me tell you. So I think Mine Lab make unbelievably good detectors. Alright, their entry level range like Go Find and Vanquish are just for the money killers, absolute killers. Alright, but when you're starting to get up and specialising, GM 1000s, ORXs, Deus for coin freaks, Equinox for little all-rounders, that's the sort of way we go. Once you become a 100% freak show gold hunter, fair dinkum, save up the coin, get yourself a 7000, get yourself a 2300, get yourself a GPX 5000. Because if you want to find a lot of gold, none of these machines, none of these 4 machines here are going to cut it. You're going to find some gold. You're going to find the obvious gold. But when you want to go really, really hard, one of those high-end gold detectors is great. If you're an absolute beach and underwater freak, then look at specialty underwater beach freak detectors, like the XCal 2. Because that thing, I believe, is the absolute class leader in the wet sand underwater environment. So I hope that makes some sense. So I'll come back over, turn the camera around a bit, hey, that was a good noise. And I'll see if I can't catch up with a few comments. I'll try and get rid of that light. got the truck there behind me, which I had some repairs done on the other day, and it's absolutely driving like a dream, but that's not what we're here to talk about. So I'm going to flip over to the comments and see what storm we've stirred up tonight. Woo! Thousands of comments behind. Thousands of comments. Ben O'Reilly makes a really good point there. We're all freaks, all right? But different freakiness turns different people on, all right? I know myself, I'm a coin and relic freak, but I'm really starting to turn into a gold one. It really is. All right, is everyone's audio fine? Getting whinging about the audio again? Seems some people are in, some people are not. All right, I'm just going to go back through. Now, guys, I'd start asking the questions from about now, because there's a lot of questions here that I've missed out on. And quite frankly, if I go back through them, I'm going to keep missing out. So I'm going to scroll right down to the end. I'm going to take my hat off because I'm getting a little bit sweaty. And let's start looking at some questions. Have I used a Nocta pulse dive? Nah. I don't underwater detect, ever. About the deepest I'll go is about hip deep. Matt, get off me channel. Matt Hahn is banned. All right, just going to make a note so I don't forget. So I ban tonight's ban list. Matt Hahn, Bob E. Pin. You guys are banned. Welcome to Bandsville. So again, if you can't hear my audio, that's your internet by the sound of it. It's not me. All right? Don't hate on us. I'm hating on all of yous. No, I'm only joking. I don't hate anyone, I don't think. There's some people that I dislike, but I don't hate them. I believe they can... No, I didn't spell it wrong, Matt. I spelled it the same way you did. So I won't lose you. Even though he's a top fan, he's still in Bandsville. Let me write that down here. Bandsville. Matt Hahn just moved to Bandsville. That's his new address. So don't stir me up or I'll ban you. So I hope that made a bit of sense, guys. Really do. And so fire away with your questions. I can't, I could scroll back, but it'll take us a week. So go. Questions now. Hey, we've topped 100 people. That's good. That's pretty good. Normally about now, after such a probably what could be considered a little bit controversial, I actually wouldn't mind a cigarette, but let's not go that way. All right, looking for some good questions. Dylan's bagging out my hat. Right, Dylan Hudson, Bandsville. Dylan, you're banned. And just for a laugh, Dylan, that's my wife's name, same spelling. So that's the only reason. Oh, there's a good question from Stopsy. And so many more rolled in after it. Stopsy asks, will the GM, with the GM 1000, will it knock out gold coated in ironstone? I haven't had that experience personally, Stopsy, but I'm going to say yes. Because it will depend on the amount of ironstone. What the GM 1000 is very, very good at is identifying iron. All right? It's really damn good at it. So those questions, like the GM 1000 is not a bad machine as far as speed goes too. So what I'd be doing there is listening for subtleties in audio, because that will probably be the giveaway. When you see that gold chance meter going up and down like that, dig that sucker. All right, because there could be a chance that it's that type of target that Stopsy's brought up. Andrew asked, can you use the white coil on the ORX, the white round coil, to find gold? Absolutely, 100%. That's what it was designed for. That white coil, being a little bit wider than the elliptical, will give you a little bit after the bend. Yeah, 90% will be banned after I go back and read the comments, Stephen. Don't you worry. I'm just going to go mental on the bans. I'm going to ban everyone. But the elliptical coil, if you're full on into gold, if you're going a lot more towards the gold than the coin and relic, I would be going the elliptical coil on the ORX every day. It's a beast. It can go to 81 kilohertz. 81 kilohertz, which is pretty high. And it will find absolute tiny gold. Downside is, when you're running a super high kilohertz in super hot ground, can be a bit heavy duty. Sean's made a comment here. He's obviously a Gold Monster user. Wobble pop is the sound to listen for. Now, I've never heard the wobble pop, but I can actually kind of not picture, but do you know what I mean? I kind of know what he's talking about. And that's the secret to all metal detectors. Every detector ever made. Subtleties in audio response. Your gold chance meters, your iron meters, your TID numbers, all that mean nothing if you're not listening to the audio. If you turned any metal detector that you're using and turned the audio off and tried to make decisions with just the other tools, you're going to have absolutely terrible time of it. Mark Richards is right, the elliptical coil has a higher thing. Is that the all metal mode? When you're running a gold program on any XP detector, this includes the Deus, what you're doing is turning it into an all metal machine. All right, what it does is take away that discrimination. All right, that ability to pick a baseline TID number and knock out everything up to that number. All right, when you're running a machine that is, Marvin's got some great settings running on his ORX. He's using it a lot for coin and relic, and he's absolutely murdering it. All right, absolutely murdering it. But if you're having a lot of trouble with your machine, hang on, I just saw a pretty good comment then. I've got to scroll back up. Yeah, fair call, Stopsy. Stopsy says that he's had the experience where he got a bit of gold out from under a piece of rubbish. All right, and really, that's where those VLF machines come into their own. When you get into a trash patch, VLF machines eat up 7000s because you're able to be a little bit selective. And I do know of a piece of gold that weighed a tiny 4.8 ounces that come out of the ground in a very, very well-known spot, and a lot of people know about this particular piece of gold and about the guy that found it. He dug out about 4 or 5 pieces, solid pieces of junk before that 4.8 ounce slug came out. And let me tell you, that's a lovely piece of gold. But I wouldn't be asking that gentleman to look at that piece of gold, because he's got a habit of keeping it in his shorts, and a warm piece of gold in your hand is just weird. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I reckon most people won't know what they start out with the best you can afford, not a dedicated machine. That's good advice from Bill Daniels. A lot of people, when you want to get into metal detecting, you really don't know what you want to do until you've been and done it. And that's why I say to people that are around the place, go and loan some machines. Find some people that own Equinoxes, ORXs, Deus, Gold Monsters. Get some experience. Join a metal detecting club. Have a chat to people that are using machines and find your mojo. I know tons of people that all they wanted to do was found gold. They went out into the gold fields, found it wasn't for them, became coin and relic freaks. I know a lot of people that wanted to do tons and tons of beach work, But they got down the beach, a wave smashed them to pieces, and they were over it. They become gold freaks. You know, so it really depends on where you're going to land. So for your very, very first detector, I would be looking at something as an all-rounder. As close to something, you know. But I would be getting to know a few detectorists, getting out there, and I've actually written an article on this. Go and join your local metal detecting club. Get on your local Facebook page and go out with people. Most detectorists are really, really good. And they'll let you tag along. They'll let you have a crack at their machine. Have a bit of a talk to them. And if that's what you like doing, then buy a machine to suit. But remember, a lot of us like to do more than one area. You know, I'm extremely spoiled, and I made this comment to a lot of people. What haven't I noticed? What haven't I noticed? All right, now I've got to scroll back because I'm absolutely freaking out. What haven't I noticed? Oh, you're freaking me out. I wouldn't have it any other way. But you know, if you really, really want to go and find hardcore gold, you really need to step up to the next level. If you really, really want to go hardcore underwater, you need to be looking down that X-Cal path. You know, there are a lot of detectors out there that are specialty. I do not believe there is one machine that will smash everything. That's the God's honest truth. You know, machines like the Equinox 800 smash it in the wet sand, go really, really well in the parks, and they're pretty handy little gold machines if you're just going to do it 1, 2, 3, 4 times a year. Absolutely, Equinox 800 every day. All right, if you're 50-50 gold and coin, I'd be looking at ORXs. If you're tons and tons of gold, I'd be looking at GM 1000s as your entry-level detector to step up into the PI range. All right, I believe someone's paying me out. If you're in the Rockhampton or the Central Queensland, there's the CQ Detectorist Club. Pretty awesome bunch of people, and own a massively wide range of detectors. So on one day, on one club hunt, and that's probably not happening at the moment, on one club hunt, you'll be able to use any one of 5 or 6 machines. You know, most of the Facebook groups, I shouldn't say most, some of the Facebook groups hold organised hunts. And again, it's a great time to go along with 4, 5, 6 other people. Have a look at their equipment. Have a chat to them about what they're doing with it. You know, true, Trevor, only one machine has won the world championship in the world, and that's the XPDF. You know? And the funny thing with that is a lot of machines were tuned to not hear the tokens. You know, I'm a wide open screen. I gave the wide open screen lecture at the Metal Detecting Club Hunt. There you go, Andrew Mason, the president of CQ Detectorists, takes a ton of detectors to club hunts. He's got ATs, he's got Deuses, he's got plenty of machines to have a go at. And I personally know a lot of those club members, and I can tell you now there's a huge range of machines that you can go out there and use. Raymond has 6 different machines, you know. So find someone that's local to you and go and have a crack at it. All right? It's great to be able to go into your local metal detecting shop and try out the different machines. All right? The only big drama there, and this includes my shop, is it's really hard to have a decent hour or 2 on each of the machines inside the store, because metal detecting inside a store with a concrete floor ain't a lot of fun. Are there any clubs in the Hunter Valley? Not that I'm aware of at this point in time. Rod Roach might be able to shed some light on that. He's been in the scene in this area a lot better than me. Probably true there are some extremely high-end industrial metal detectors that might be better than a 7,000. But what we're looking at there is 20, 30, 40,000 bucks. And to be honest, let's face it, for some people, money's not an issue. And for those people, good on you. So if there's a machine out there that's worth 30 grand and it could find more gold than GPZ 7000, they'd be out in the goldfields and we'd be seeing videos and photos of them, but we're not. So, you know, I get that there's better machines out there, or there could be, but are they hobby machines? Are they easy to use? Can you swing them with one arm whilst wearing a harness? Probably not. Find tiny gold. Do I ever use low frequency on the ORX? Now, Chris, I'm going to tell the truth here. I don't use an ORX in the goldfields ever. If I'm going to use a VLF XP machine, it's the Deus. The gold program has a couple of little extra features that the ORX doesn't have. Do I use the lower frequencies? Yes, I do. And I would say I use the mid to lower frequencies more than I use the higher frequencies in Australia. I would really only be running the 80 odd kilohertz in pretty benign ground. And when I say that, low, you know, well, I was out with Stopsy once and I was running my Deus in some pretty hot ground, and we managed to uncover a few pieces of gold. A lot of that was to do with Stopsy helping me out. So I don't know if the video stopped. It seems to be going all right this way. How bog do you think Sydney is? So Matty Hahn's obviously turned Kiwi. Oh, classic. And Nikki Bailey's given us a little bit too much information about what she's going to do after the lockdown. We had a great day out there running a 5000 and an XP Deus. It was great to see the two different technologies working hand in hand. And both machines surprised me that day. At that point, I had no experience with the 5000. It was doing my head in. Cheers, Roachy. Appreciate that, mate. Greg, 9-inch elliptical and 13-inch. Well, 13-inch is a elliptical coil. It's a 13 by 11, which is the best for gold. Every day, the 9-inch elliptical, Greg. Every day. There you go. Sydney Home Prospectors are based in Parramatta. Oh, there's the Dubbo Prospecting Club, of course, out Dubbo way. And any of these clubs, you don't have to probably live in the immediate area to get fine. Coral, the diggers haven't shown up yet, mate. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. I'll try and get a tracker number on them and see if I can track. I'm actually missing a fair bit of incoming freight at the moment. Strangely, I did have a mystery box appear from XP in France, which may suggest that there's someone in the factory making things, which is good. Still have a strong XP range in stock though, so don't let that put you off. Greg, are there any near Nyngan? Wouldn't have a clue, mate. You'd have to do a search. I reckon type Nyngan Metal Detecting Club into Google and you'll get a good idea. Matthew's given the Dubbo Club a bit of a hoorah, and their president helps out everyone. Much like the club that I'm involved in is the CQ Detectors. Andrew is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and he will forego a big chunk of his hunting time on a club trip to help members and non-members out. Oh, the cup matches my glasses. Bobby Pin, jeez. You! Floral glasses and stripy cups. How good's that? How good's that? So there are, oh well, Roachy's from Nyngan. There are a few detectorists in Nyngan. So it'd just be a matter of, I guess, trying to track them down. You know, jump in a few of the bigger, you know, a group would be the Detecting Down Under group. I believe has probably got the widest range of people, as in it covers the most points. There's 10,300 and something members. That would be a good way to go. Stopsy's talking about some clubs down in Victoria. The Bendigo Prospecting Club comes to mind. They're massive member base of really good people. Southern Seekers over in South Australia I know of. I've been on a couple of club hunts with them lads. Absolutely fantastic. Dave, their president, is a champion. Well, he was the president at the time, not sure if he is now. Metal Detecting Country, New South Wales. That's a good place to hook up with people in the regional areas. I know a lot of us are members of all these groups, so jump into some of these Facebook groups and ask. It's that simple. So if you're running let's say you're running a Go Find and you want to see, should I be buying an Equinox, a GM1000 or an ORX? Jump into the Facebook groups and ask the question. Does anyone that live near this town own these machines? Can we please go for a hunt or buy you lunch? I absolutely guarantee you'll probably get a response. All right. Detecting Down Under has the Detector Buddy app, I believe. And that's the only thing I know of its kind where you can actually jump in there and put your name in, put your location in, and people that are near you that are looking for a hunting buddy can jump in there and find you and get in contact with you. So, I mean, how cool. That's got to be a good thing. That has to be a good thing. So, you know, it's all about getting out there and getting some experience before you hand over a big ton of cash and realise you've bought the wrong detector. Training days, one-on-one training days are absolutely unbeatable. You can go one-on-one with a quality training company like Aussie Gold Prospect is a good one. I've been on their tours. Gold Extractors at Mudgee, been on their tours. Absolutely fantastic training. And the nice thing is that they'll give you a go of their high-end machines. All right, find out, is it 5,000 for you? Is it 2,300 for you? Is the 7,000 for you? The only way to find out is to have a go. Is to have a go. All right, my stuff out before you read. All right, so Todd Commons has obviously made some derogatory comments about me, and he's making sure that his stuff is posted out before I read the comments. Now, Todd, you may have got lucky here because your stuff has already been posted, so I'm not going to have to put a disgusting surprise in there for you. Absolutely, Mark makes a good point. A lot of the groups out there, like his group is Metal Detecting Country, New South Wales, but I'm telling you, he's got members from every state. Every single state. Who am I putting on the ban? Todd Commons. He's on the ban list, and I think that's over from last week. Todd Commons. And I've met Todd, the Metal Detecting World Championship, so when I see him there this year, I'm going to throw dirt at him. I am going to throw dirt right at him. And while he's not looking to, because if he gets hold of me, he'll wring me neck. Mark, I'm keeping a very close eye on you, my friend. Oh, Nikki's group's a fantastic group. Nikki Bailey's group is and I'm going to get this wrong, New South Wales Prospecting. I was going to swear then. Fishing. And I can't remember what the other one stands for. I'm so hopeless. I got the sticker over there on my car. Let me go and have a look. Oh, she hasn't got it written on the sticker. So I can't cheat. How funny is that? How funny is that? Camping, prospecting, fishing, and four-wheel driving. That's the one. Nikki's group covers a lot of different areas, and she's one of the, I would say, pretty close to one of the most active live event organisers from the Facebook group. She loves the live event, and she's pretty darn good at organising them too. What she's also good at is getting companies involved. She does very, very well. So if you're in that southern New South Wales area, she's the way to go. That's right, Nikki's giving away Hilly's picks at the moment. Mark gives away the odd pick at the moment. I give away nothing. Someone can win this pen lid. This is a brand new pen lid. Comes off a blue pen, but can be used on other colours. So, worst comment tonight, if I've got your address, I'm sending you this as the booby prize. So, like I say, guys, I have a bit of a rant about the different machines and the advice I give. It was a little bit harder because I didn't have someone giving me a bit of feedback, but I think it went okay. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow if I, get a written warning from a couple of metal detecting companies. Have I queued the pen? What's queued the pen? That's weird. And random numbers are being guessed. I can't believe you guys remember that from last year when we did the most ridiculous random number giveaways you've ever seen in your life. I think every single one of them was controversial. Need more than one lid? I can probably dig up another lid. Alright, I'll also throw in this shelving leg stabiliser. Blue pen lid, shelving leg stabiliser, and cash prize of 20 cents. Cash prize of 20 cents. No restriction on where you spend the 20 cents. You may spend it on metal detecting or non-metal detecting gear. It is completely up to you. So we're getting a good prize pool here. Pen lid, shelf leg stabiliser, cash prize 20 cents. Mel Stops has joined late as usual. Late as usual. Can I join them together? I believe I can. I believe that's challenge accepted. There we go. All joined together into one unique item that will never ever be found ever again. You would have to look long and hard to find a prize as unique as that. Absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. No, it's in New Zealand 20 cents. So it's worth about 12. No, it's a good old-fashioned Aussie 20 cents. Yeah, I should bring back the random number. That was some of the funniest stuff I've ever done. So we're probably getting a bit off topic, but that's not unusual. Rod Roach is throwing bids out there. I'll tell you what, I won't have to work much for the next couple of weeks after selling that $1 million bag of pay dirt this morning. Oh, hang on. I've seen a decent comment. Good question there. Now, this type of advice that I'm giving is advice you ain't going to get in your chain stores. They're probably going to give you horrible advice. Chris Barrett actually asked a very intelligent question. Chris, I really appreciate that. Was my Knox 800 a good decision for goldfields? If I get a smaller coil, I do beaches a lot as well. Mate, I think you're spot on. I absolutely think that you've bought the right machine. I would probably have advised you that way. I believe I gave someone advice this afternoon that their situation was basically exactly the same as that, Chris, and we decided through mutual decision that the Equinox 800 would be the choice. And what they're going to do is look at getting an Equinox 800 with the view to the 6-inch coil to do the gold work. So, Chris, great choice. And big ups to whoever gave you the advice to go that way. I think they've hit the nail right on the head. I don't have a wavy 20-cent piece despite looking. I once noodled about 500 bucks for it. Oh, Chris, you're breaking my heart. I was thinking you're a good bloke, and now you've broken my heart. It's very rare that people get good advice from the chain stores. There are a couple of shops around in the chain variety that do give good advice. There's a couple of prospectors that work in them that I know of. But a lot of the times, ever since the person came into the shop with a GoFind 22 who was sold it as a very, very capable gold detector, I've been casting doubts on what goes on there. So if you want the best advice, guys, go to a detecting shop and speak to some detectorists. Hey, 99.9% of people that work in detecting shops actually detect. All right, very, very few people that work in the chain stores that sell detectors actually detect. And all they're going to do is vomit up what's written on the box or what they think they know. Yes, the Equinox can be updated over the internet. Absolutely support your detecting shop, guys, because a lot of the times that's where you're going to book your tour. That's where you're going to get the best advice. That's where you're going to get sold the right equipment to do the job. All right. Some people, yep, they're going to places like Anaconda and stealing Equinox 800s for a really, really great price. But it's no use buying a cheap detector if it's the wrong one. You've been done over. So you've done your grand, even though you got a good deal. If you bought the wrong machine, you're going to have to buy another one. So it really wasn't that big a bargain. Some people like Chris will get lucky. And I'm sure he'll order his 6-inch coil from Aussie Detectprist. Trina, the nearest detector shop to her is actually a gun shop. Fair enough, that could come in handy. Look, long as they're giving you good advice, that's fine. And I would think in a gun shop, they're probably like a specialty sports store. So you're probably in with a good chance. What I get at is these stores that sell a massive range of stuff across 1,000 different hobbies, you're probably going to get generic advice. All right? And generic advice is never any good. If you want the best advice, absolutely talk to a detecting shop owner or a detecting shop employee, because they'll ask you the questions, they'll talk to you. Meso made an unbelievably funny comment, then I'll let you roll back and have a look at it, because there's a little bit more truth to that than what he realises. Will I take a round bale of hay for a detector? What type of grass are we talking, Tricia? I don't want a round bale of weeds. Let's talk grass type. We might be able to come up with a deal. So I've got no idea how long this video has gone for. It has been absolute dribble for quite some time now. Where are we at? I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see. Anyone pays me out, you'll be banned. Oh, we're over an hour. Far out. Unbelievable. No wonder my throat's getting sore. So it's true what Mark says, the smaller shops, myself, Benny, there's other shops out there, apparently. That's where you're going to get great advice. We don't lie. It's not in our best interest to just quickly make a sale. What we're trying to do is create a relationship for a long, long time. We'd like to see you come back into the store and get advice on your next digging tool, your next finds bag, your next pinpointer, all those sort of things. My customers, I appreciate their business. I give them good advice. Benny's the same. We don't tell lies. We give you the facts. Even if the facts hurt, we will tell you. We will tell you. Oh, we can give away a t-shirt if we want to do a random number game. All right, let's end the night on a random number game. So from And Matty Hahn, you're not in this, you're banned. So, excluding these people, see, there are consequences for your actions. I'm going to write a number down on this piece of paper between 1 and 100. First person to guess that number wins the t-shirt. The number is down. The number has been written down. It's right here on this piece of paper. These people are banned. These people cannot enter the competition. And so if you see one of Matty Hahn's numbers come up, just guess it. Because if he gets it right, he ain't winning. So it's the first time I see the number. I just flashed it there. If you, it's a girl's t-shirt, so maybe we should give it to Matty. Oh, so let's go. 1 and 100. We'll give away the shirt and we're out of here. Nah. Haven't seen it yet. Keep them coming. Nah, not even close. Oh, that was close. Oh, that was close. Kerry, no, mate. Nah. Come on, people. Throw some numbers in there. I've got 3 people typing numbers. One of those 3 is going to get it. They're absolutely typing like crazy. Come on, folks. Throw some numbers in there. And you can win a CPFF ladies t-shirt. Come on. Ready? Oh, wow. That was close. That was close. Not going to say who, but that was close. Come on, throw some numbers. I'm not seeing a lot of numbers. Rod, it's not 26. Kerry, it's not 97. I'm looking at the number now. Ready? I've psychically transmitted the number. Oh! All right, I'm going to give you a hint. Gav, you're blasting all the way around it, mate. You're so close. Rod, you're miles off. Kerry, you're miles off. When I say miles off, you're over 20. Adrian, that is very close. Gav, no. I think Matt typed something. I didn't see it. It flashed past too quick. Come on, guys. We're going to be here all night. Meso, not even close. Ray, not even close. Nah. Oh, you're within 20, Ray. Nah. To be honest, no one. Oh, there we have it. Kerry Lawton, up there at the best damn caravan park in central Queensland, has nailed it. And her hubby put in the opposite of that 1-7. So even if we do that, they're the winners. So the Lawtons, congratulations to the Lawtons. Absolutely deserving winners. Really lovely people. I've met the Lawtons. I believe the first time I met them was on the side of the road. So Kerry, 71. Well done, mate. I'll have a yak to Nikki and we'll send you the shirt. Congratulations, mate. Nikki, don't let me forget who won it. Can you message me in the morning, mate? And we'll sort that out. Because Kerry's a good egg, eh? So's her husband. Oh, Steve's, let's say, not a bad egg. Nowhere in the league of his wife. Let's put it that way. So, well done, guys. Oh, off by one guess. You know, that's the way it goes. Everyone's got dirty minds, so 69 was guessed about 1,000 times. So, good on you, Nikki. Cheers, mate. If you want me to sling you a postage label, let me know, mate. I'll pick up the postage on that for you. And I can get a label drawn up and paid for, and I'll send it to you. You just have to print it out and whack it on. So, absolutely going to a beautiful home. All right, in an absolutely lovely part of the world. And Stephen, I do not want to see you wearing that lady's shirt, mate. All right, that's dead serious. Don't do it. Do it. It'd be hilarious. Sweet. All right, guys, that was a fun numbers game. They are a bit of fun, you know. And if you can't have some fun, then why bother? My cup of tea is absolutely stone cold. Oh, it's empty. That probably explains that. I'm getting a tiny bit of a headache moving on, so let's call it a night. Thanks so much for attending. Hope you got a bit out of it. Hope you had a good time. I think having a good time's probably put above, you know, getting good information on my lives. Let's face it, they're not filled with facts. And I think I'm here, you know. I think I'm the light relief from the seriousness that are some other shows. So Benny does a fantastic job of absolutely giving you great information. I'm probably not that much good at that. All right, guys, sling your peace sign. Say thanks very much. Probably won't see you live from me now. Might do one over the weekend. Probably won't do one tomorrow. Got a busy day. Got a couple of people coming in. Got the sign rider coming. Hopefully we're going to see the back end of the road showers after this week. So program 3 for the person that asked about the pinpointer. Just whack it in program 3 and never change it. I'm going to go back later on this evening, or if not tomorrow, and read every single one of your ludicrous comments. And this list here, I suspect, is going to get a lot longer. The residents of Bairnsville, that town is growing rapidly. Yes, you can upgrade from the ORX to the Deus. All you need to do is purchase the Deus remote control. I just got 2 brand new ones in from some warranty ones that I sent back. One of them was one that I may or may not have destroyed with a car. Yes, I will make the ban list public after I've read the comments. You all disgust me. Have a great night. Peace. Thanks, guys. It's going to take me a second to get over to the stop button. Here I am at the stop button. See you later. Thanks for participating. Bye.